This is the My Writing Diary podcast. I'm Bill Wong. I started writing this week, which I didn't expect to do. I was expecting to start writing in another 3 or 4 weeks. I got to the point where I'd done the research, I'd been reading books, I'd been storyboarding, and it wanted to be written. I sat down and started writing. What I try to do is write about 500 words a day. I hope after maybe 100 days I'll have 50,000 words and I'll have my first draft, which is my goal. I've been writing and I've already written about 3,000 words. It's been very easy, but like I said in a previous episode, that it's been very effective on me. I'm going to read my story description, that it's a Romeo and Juliet in modern day Middle Eastern war. Mulan meets Titanic in a Tom Clancy novel. It's a story of two lovers finding themselves and each other in the throes of war, the loss of their former selves, the lies they tell themselves and their families, and the sacrifices and choices they have to make for duty and country, regardless of the personal gain. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about that love aspect, which is 3 parts of it. The love of a father and his daughter, in some way a dedication to my own daughter, a love of yourself, and the love of another person who can make you a better person. The love of the father. As I indicated in a previous episode, that the father is a military guy. At the beginning of the story in 1973, he's the deputy director of Mossad, which is the Israeli intelligence services, basically their CIA. And they're in charge or tasked with sometimes assassinations. On the date of his daughter's birth, which is April 4th, 1974, about 6 months after the end of the Yom Kippur War, there's some significance to that date. One, it's actually the same day as Robert Downey Jr. and Heath Ledger, and it's about a few days before the actual prime minister, who is Golda Meir, resigns from her role as prime minister. I want to put a lot of factual stuff in there. The villains in this story are twofold. It's the institutions of government and military and bureaucracy. And her father, in some ways, represents that bureaucracy. I love this one part where his daughter at one time asks whether I should go into the military. And the father says, no, I don't think you're able to. The daughter thinks that he doesn't believe in me. However, he's really trying to protect her because he loves her. He realizes that the institution of the military has corrupted him, has forced him to make decisions that he today regrets, and he doesn't want her hurt. Going to war, one of the themes that I want to put forward is the futility of war and the brutality of war. And he's trying to protect her. He loves her very much. There's a couple of devices that I've decided to use. One, when he was a young commander, he made some bad decisions and was demoted. He wrote himself a note to try to help his future self, but he never lived up to that note, and he actually was corrupted by the military and the institution of government. He leaves that small note with his daughter on the day of her birth in her blanket, and she carries it with her to this day. And the other device I'm using is a weapon. It's actually a Walther PP, a sidearm, a small caliber, which he received as a gift. In 1972, after the Munich massacre of the 11 Olympic athletes, he was, at that time, a deputy director. Intelligence officer for Germany exchanged a gift with him as being deputy director for the intelligence in Mossad. And it was a handgun. It's a Walther PPK 38 caliber, concealed weapon. The weapon could be used for either an act of war or for peace. It's really a person's choice. There's an inscription on this, of which I don't want to divulge right now because I just wrote it just a little while ago. They exchange weapons, and he carries that with him. He is going to give that weapon to his daughter. By giving her this weapon, it is a sign that I believe in you, I have confidence in you, and you are capable. From that point forward, she starts to believe in herself. The love interest, at this point his name is Rand, they are some ways polar opposites. And unfortunately, a lot of women, they try to downplay their intelligence because it's not very attractive to the opposite sex. Sometimes they act dumber than they are. And she's not being true to herself. And the other character, Rami, is also not being true to himself. He tries to act very big and very confident, but in some ways he's not confident. They are trying to learn from each other. He believes in her, she doesn't believe in herself, and that faith that he has in her makes her a stronger person and a better person toward the end of the novel. The father is very much in love and believes in the daughter, but she doesn't think that he does. The boyfriend believes in her and starts to slowly understand her worth as an individual. Her journey from the beginning to the end is her becoming more confident in herself, believing in herself through these two male figures, one her father and Rami, and needing to make a choice. And the choice, I will not divulge at this point because I haven't totally figured it out, but the choice is about sacrifice. And the final part is her love of herself. Through these two individuals who are giving her faith and giving her confidence, she's able to become a person, make decisions, and have agency, and in some ways fight the villain in the story, which is the institutions of the military and government and bureaucracy. And those institutions, unfortunately, probably will destroy her because they're going to make her a devil's bargain. If you do this, we won't destroy you. She has to make a choice of what to do and what is right. I'm not going to divulge that either because I don't know yet. This is a love story. This is a love story about a father and a daughter, a woman of herself, because I wanted to make a very strong character who develops over the course of the book, and also the love another person. This is Bill Wong. See you on the pages.